In today's video, we're diving deep into Peaky Blinders, the Immortal Man, breaking down the full story, scene by scene, all the way to that devastating ending. From Tommy Shelby's reluctant return, to the truth about Arthur, to that final, haunting decision that changes everything. So the question is Tommy Shelby really gone? And what kind of future has he left behind? War Behind the Wharf film opens far from Birmingham inside a cold, brutal German concentration camp during World War II. Prisoners are forced into a secret operation, printing massive amounts of counterfeit British currency. Not small amounts. We're talking hundreds of millions of pounds. The objective is clear: not just to fight Britain on the battlefield, but to collapse its economy from within. But there's a problem. This plan can't succeed without help on the inside. And that's where we're introduced to John Beckett, a powerful and deeply corrupt British politician. Calm, calculated, and completely ruthless, Beckett offers the Nazis exactly what they need: access to Britain's criminal underworld. His solution? Use the one organization capable of moving that kind of money without question: the Peaky Blinders. Tommy and Exilou then cut to a very different world. Tommy Shelby is no longer the man we once knew. He's been gone for 5 years, living in isolation, far from Birmingham, far from power, and far from everything he built. The only person still by his side is Johnny Dogs. Tommy spends his days writing, attempting to document his life, his thoughts, maybe even his regrets. But peace never lasts long, because every time he tries to focus, he's interrupted by visions, ghosts, especially Ruby, his daughter, whose death still haunts him deeply. These aren't just memories. They feel real, intrusive, almost like punishment. Tommy isn't healing, he's unraveling. Ada's return. That fragile isolation is broken when Ada Shelby arrives unannounced. She doesn't come with pleasantries, she comes with urgency. Birmingham has changed. Without Tommy, the Peaky Blinders haven't stabilized. They've become worse, more violent, more reckless, less controlled. And at the center of it all is Duke, Tommy's son. Duke is powerful, ambitious, and dangerous. He's taken control, but without Tommy's discipline, his leadership is reckless. Ada fears the inevitable. This path doesn't end in power, it ends in death. But Tommy refuses. He knows his mental state is unstable. He's afraid of what he might become if he goes back. For the first time, Tommy Shelby is afraid of himself. The hidden what Ada doesn't know is that things are already far worse than she thinks. Duke has secretly aligned himself with Beckett. Together, they've agreed to distribute £70 million of counterfeit money, directly supporting the enemy's plan. This isn't just crime anymore. This is treason. The Gypsies' warning go night. A mysterious woman named Co appears at Tommy's estate. She claims to be the twin sister of a woman from Tommy's past. And more importantly, she claims to be a true clairvoyant. At first, Tommy dismisses her, but then, she starts revealing things she shouldn't know. Dark truths, secrets buried deep inside him. And then she says something that changes everything. Tommy killed Arthur, not directly, but through his actions, his hesitation, his choices. He allowed things to unfold that led to Arthur's death, and then covered it up as a suicide. That guilt is what's been destroying him. Co doesn't just expose him, she pushes him. She tells him that if he doesn't act now, his son will follow the same path and die. For the first time in years, Tommy has a reason to return. The fall of Ada. Back in Birmingham, Ada makes her own move. She decides to expose Duke to stop him before it's too late. But Beckett is already watching. To test Duke's loyalty, Beckett gives him an order: kill Ada. Duke hesitates. And in that hesitation, Beckett makes the choice himself. He kills Ada. Tommy returns. To me arrives too late. Ada is gone, and this loss breaks something inside him permanently. This isn't just about power anymore. This is about family and revenge. Tommy confronts Duke, but instead of anger, there's something more complicated: disappointment, understanding, even recognition, because Tommy sees himself in Duke. War Begins. To me quickly realizes that Beckett is the real enemy. There's a failed attempt to take him down, a chaotic gunfight where Beckett narrowly escapes. This sets up the inevitable, a final confrontation. The Planth Peaky Blinders prepare for war. Their target: Beckett's warehouse where the counterfeit money is being stored and distributed. Weapons are gathered, explosives prepared, but beneath the strategy, there's a deeper conflict. Co secretly tells Duke something shocking. To truly end this cycle, he may have to kill his own father. Final battle fire and blood. The attack begins. The warehouse erupts into chaos, gunfire, explosions, bodies falling everywhere. The Peaky Blinders overwhelm Beckett's forces. But the real battle comes down to two men, Tommy Shelby versus John Beckett. No hiding this time, no escape, just confrontation. The final choice after the battle. Everything slows down. Tommy and Duke face each other. This is the moment everything has been building toward. Tommy understands something now that he never did before. He cannot outrun death. He cannot undo his past, but he can choose how his story ends. So he makes a decision, not out of defeat, but out of control. Tommy allows Duke to shoot him. One bullet, not in anger, but in understanding. The Immortal Man. As Tommy dies, we hear the haunting words of, "In the bleak midwinter," a song tied to his past, to war, to survival, to death. It all comes full circle. His body is placed in a gypsy cart, something we saw him request earlier. Now, we understand why. It was never just a cart. It was his coffin, his final journey. Ending explained with Beckett dead. The plan to destroy Britain collapses. The counterfeit money is burned along with Tommy's body. In a symbolic act, Tommy destroys both the enemy's plan and himself. Duke survives, but more importantly, he changes. He rejects Beckett's path. He chooses family over power, and in the final moment, Co gives him Tommy's unfinished book, The Immortal Man. Conclusion: Tommy Shelby is gone, but his story, his lessons, his legacy live on through Duke. Because in the end, Tommy wasn't immortal because he couldn't die. He was immortal because his story refuses to end. And that's the full story of Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man. Tommy's journey may have ended, but the legacy lives on through Duke, through the Peaky Blinders, and through every twist and turn we've witnessed today. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into your favorite shows and movies, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss a recap. By order of the Peaky Blinders, you know what to do.